Mic check. 1, 2, 3. And good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Woodbine Mohawk Park on this Monday morning, a hot Monday morning in Campbellville, here on June 29th, 2026. Today we have 7 qualifying races. Horses for the first are on the track, and there are no changes in the first qualifier. It will be a field of 7 3-year-old pacers. Of our 7 qualifiers today, 2 of them will feature 2-year-olds. Those will come up in qualifiers 2 and 4. Starter calls the horses and drivers in for our first qualifier. 3-year-old Pacers here in the opener. Number 1, I'm No Pet, is a 3-year-old filly trained by Herb Holland. The driver is Todd Ratchford. 2, Sweet Mary Lou, another 3-year-old filly. Paul Court trains, Mark McDonald drives. 3, HP Angel Delight, 3-year-old filly trained by Gerard Demers. The driver is J.R. Plant. 4, Heaven's Guard Dog, a 3-year-old colt trained by Derek Anderson with Daryl Thiessen. 5, Count on Gord, a 3-year-old gelding. Trainer-driver is Chris Matthews. 6 is Favoritism, a 3-year-old filly trained by Nick Gallucci with James McDonald. And number 7, Be Perfect BG, 3-year-old filly trained by Tony Beaton. The driver is Louis Waugh. Starting gate swings into the stretch, a field of 7 for our first. Picking up speed, here they come. And they're off and pacing. All eyes to the outside on Be Perfect BG as she's going to swing out to the lead. Down the center was Count on Gord, and a good beginning for Sweet Mary Lou. In behind will be I'm No Pet in fourth. Lining up will be Favoritism, who has 2 beat, that being HP Angel Delight and Heaven's Guard Dog. So Be Perfect BG to the top. The daughter of Perfect Sting leading us to the opening quarter, while Sweet Mary Lou, the Sweet Lou filly, is there second. Opening panel 28 and 3. Coming out of the first turn, and we are watching Be Perfect BG on the lead by 2.5 lengths from Sweet Mary Lou. Then going back to Count on Gord in third. Fourth is I'm No Pet, tracked up the backside by Favoritism, tightening up to that nearest rivals, HP Angel Delight, and a couple lengths back to the trailer, Heaven's Guard Dog. Be Perfect BG. First appearance for her since that narrow loss in the Fan Hanover final. One of the standout 3-year-olds of the season. Brings us up to the midway point in 57 and 3. It's Be Perfect BG onto the far turn. Sweet Mary Lou has been trying to keep pace there in second. It's about 8 lengths going back to Count on Gord in third. Fourth around the far turn, I'm No Pet, followed by Favoritism. Then to HP Angel Delight and Heaven's Guard Dog. Nothing's changed here. And Be Perfect BG ramped it up here on the far bend off the 57 and 3/2. She'll get down to 3/4 in a time of 1:25 flat. So she went 27 and 2 in the third quarter. And she'll look to finish it off strong. Here's Be Perfect BG with a mark of 48 and 4. Just the one loss on her record, lost by in the Fan Hanover, but she'll continue to make noise this season. Here she is, Be Perfect BG by double digits, almost 15 lengths. Sweet Mary Lou in second, Count on Gord is third, and I'm No Pet will finish in fourth. Down to the wire in a time of 150 and 4, 25 and 4 home for Be Perfect BG. Our next qualifier will be for 2-year-old trotters, scratch number 1, Twin Bee Smoke Show. It'll be a field of 6, driver change on 7, Coach Chippy, to Todd Ratchford. We'll start with number 2, PL, You Can't Catch Me. Homebred for Princely Acres, Matt Dupuis, the trainer-driver. Muscle Mass filly, went through the London Classic for $40,000. 3 is Karma Queen, daughter of Muscle Mass. Shannon Henry trains, Trevor Henry drives. Also a London Classic grad at $27,000. 4, Panache Princess, is a King of the North filly. Roger Mayotte, trainer-driver. And this was a London Classic buy for $120,000. 5, Snow Dream Hanover, is a Muscle Mass filly. Justin Turcotte trains. The driver is Jody Jameson. A Harrisburg yearling buy for $20,000 US. 6 is Bobby Bovino, Muscle Mass filly. Kim Baxter trains. Scott Young will drive. A Glenview Livestock homebred. And number 7, Coach Chippy. It looks like a Chippendale colt. A homebred for the holidays. Dave Holliday trains. The driver will be Todd Ratchford. So the field of 6 is lined up. 2-year-old trotters here in qualifier number 2. Again, scratch number 1, Twin Bee Smoke Show. The 2, the 6, and the 7, all first-timers. The other 3 going for a second qualifying attempt. Field of 6 lined up. 2-year-olds for the second. And they're off and trotting. A little bit of speed being shown here by Panache Princess, who is trying to muscle to the top. PL, You Can't Catch Me at the inside. Then behind that one is going to be Karma Queen. Here comes Coach Chippy to the outside and getting a little steppy. Snow Dream Hanover might have made a quick break. Off stride is the 6, Bobby Bovino. As we head into the first turn, Panache Princess, the King of the North filly, fronts them. Second is PL, You Can't Catch Me. And lined up third is Karma Queen. Taking a seat in fourth will be Coach Chippy. And then we're going back to Snow Dream Hanover. And back trotting now is Bobby Bovino. 31-1 was the opening quarter. And moving up the backstretch, leading it by 2 lengths, is Panache Princess. Second time out for the daughter of King of the North for Roger Mayotte. In her first spin, she sat near the back. And here today, she is going up front and showing the way nicely, leading it by 3.5 lengths. PL, You Can't Catch Me is second. Third is Karma Queen. Then back to Coach Chippy. Another 8 lengths then to Snow Dream Hanover. And well back to an off stride again, Bobby Bovino. 102-2 was the half-mile time. So it was back-to-back 31-1 splits. And as they approach the far turn and start to go around it, 5/8 of the mile now in the books, it is still Panache Princess leading it. PL, You Can't Catch Me. It's just a couple lengths off. Good tracking spot here for Karma Queen. Behind that one, the debuter Coach Chippy, and then back to Snow Dream Hanover and Bobby Bovino. 3 quarters in 132-2. 30 seconds flat third quarter. And at the head of the lane, Panache Princess kicks it into another gear and tries to get away on them. Here comes Karma Queen now on the outside. PL, You Can't Catch Me hanging in there. And behind them is Coach Chippy in fourth. 16th of a mile to go. Panache Princess looking strong. In pursuit is Karma Queen second. Outside to Coach Chippy and PL, You Can't Catch Me fourth. Panache Princess will go all the way to take it by a couple of lengths. Second was Karma Queen. Coach Chippy was third. And PL, You Can't Catch Me fourth in 2 minutes and 4/5. Our next qualifier will be the third. And in this upcoming third qualifier, we will scratch the numbers 4 and 5. 4 amicable and 5 all-time rock are both out. A few driver changes. 1 Vela Luca will now be driven by Mark McDonald. 3 Panic Ray, the driver will be Louis Waugh. And 6 Carson's Buck and Go, the driver will be Chris Matthews. So the horses gather up in the far turn, and they'll line up here in just a moment. Again, the 4 and the 5 are out. Number 1 is Vela Luca, a 3-year-old colt, trained by Paul Court. The driver will be Mark McDonald. 2 is Diesel Dally, 4-year-old, trained by Ted Knight. The driver is Daryl Thiessen. Number 3, Panic Ray, a 3-year-old gelding trained by J.F. McGuire. The driver is Louis Waugh. 4 and 5 are scratched. 6 is Carson's Buck and Go, a 4-year-old gelding trained by Greg McNair. The driver's Chris Matthews. And number 7, Sweet Lovin' Lou, a 3-year-old colt trained by Dan Legacy. The driver, James McDonald. Scratch down to a field of 5 for qualifier number 3. Starting gate moves into the stretch. Pacers for the third, picking up speed, and here they come. And they're off and pacing, and Sweet Lovin' Lou quickly strides out to the lead. Vela Luca, the rail starter, will get away in second as they all grab a spot immediately down to the rail. Panic Ray got away in third from Carson's Buck and Go fourth, and a few lengths back to Diesel Dally, the trailer, in fifth. It's Sweet Lovin' Lou, the Sweet Lou colt, taking us to the opening quarter here for James McDonald. Back in second is Vela Luca. Their third is Panic Ray to Carson's Buck and Go, and rounding things out is Diesel Dally. 28 and 4 was the opening panel. So it's Sweet Lovin' Lou, the first appearance for the 3-year-old colt since the Pepsi North America Cup final. Was an NA Cup elimination winner, and Sweet Lovin' Lou moves up the backstretch leading by 4. Second is Vela Luca, there in third. Continues to be Panic Ray to Carson's Buck and Go in fourth, who gets a little bit closer now to his nearest rival. And the last one is still Diesel Dally. Up to the half in 57 and 2. So just a smidge quicker in the second split. 28 and 4, followed by 28 and 3, and it's Sweet Lovin' Lou onto the far bend. In second is Vela Luca. That one's about 5 lengths off the leader. Third continues to be Panic Ray to Carson's Buck and Go and Diesel Dally. But Sweet Lovin' Lou just doing his thing up front here, as Vela Luca will get a bit closer, just a couple lengths off when they get to 3/4 in 1:26 and 1. Top of the stretch after the 28 and 4 third panel, and Sweet Lovin' Lou will now look to sprint on home strong. Vela Luca is second, and then we're going back to the others as it's Panic Ray, Carson's Buck and Go, and Diesel Dally. A 16th to go here, and Sweet Lovin' Lou looking to go gate to wire. McDonald motionless here, just letting Sweet Lovin' Lou take us down to the wire. He's going to take it by 2 1/4. Finishing in second was Vela Luca, and then we go back to Panic Ray. Finishing fourth, Carson's Buck and Go, and Diesel Dally, 153 and 2, 27 and 1 home. Sweet Lovin' Lou. And the 2-year-olds are lining up now for our next qualifier today. This is the 4th. Scratching the 1, Last Panic, and the 6, All Day Hanover. It'll be a field of 5. We'll start with number 2, Red Dog, a 2-year-old daughter of Bulldog Hanover, trained by Justin Turcott. The driver is Claude Cadeau. This was a Harrisburg purchase for $15,000 US. Number 3, Lindy Bovino, is a cattle wash filly for Kim Baxter. Driver Scott Young, Glenview Livestock homebred. 4 is Tox, a Better's Delight filly, also for Glenview Livestock. Trainer is Katie Graham, the driver Trevor Henry. 5 Lions Bulldog, Bulldog Hanover filly. Dr. Ian Moore trains. The driver is Mark McDonald, and Lions Bulldog was a Lexington Select Buy for $31,000 US. The 6 is scratched, and we'll wrap things up with number 7, Untold Story, a Better's Delight colt. Carl Jamieson trains. The driver is Jody Jamieson. So once again, scratch the 1 and 6. Inside out, we got Red Dog, Lindy Bovino, Tox, Lions Bulldog, and Untold Story. 3 Lindy Bovino, 7 Untold Story, both qualifying for a second time. The others debuting here this morning as the gate reaches the top of the stretch. 2-year-old pacers for the 4th. They're off and a pacing, and it's Lions Bulldog splitting rivals and getting out to the early advantage. Untold Story from the outside with some speed up into second, as Tox is going to slip ahead into third in front of Red Dog 4th and Lindy Bovino to be the trailer in 5th. Lions Bulldog and Untold Story, they were the outside starters, and they get away 1-2. As we head towards the opening quarter, first-timer Lions Bulldog. She's a daughter of Bulldog Hanover, leads it by a couple of lengths. On the Better's Delight colt Untold Story, opening panel was 29-3. So swinging into the backstretch here, and it is Lions Bulldog, a clear leader. Back in second is Untold Story, and then it's about 3.5, 4 lengths back to Tox in third. Going about the same margin back to Red Dog in 4th, and the trailer 5th is Lindy Bovino. Midway up the backstretch here, and pumped up on the lead here is Lions Bulldog, as this one goes powerfully up to the midway point. Lions Bulldog goes by the half in 58-3, 29 seconds in the second quarter. Lions Bulldog from Untold Story second, and Tox there in third. Then we're going back to Red Dog in 4th, and another 6 lengths back to Lindy Bovino. Around the far bend here, and it is Lions Bulldog. Now coming in closer is Untold Story, and we'll see if that one will sit behind. It will. And then third continues to be Tox. So that's your top 3 here as we go back to the final 2, Red Dog and Lindy Bovino. Lions Bulldog at 3 quarters in 1:26-4. Swinging into the lane, a 28-1/3 quarter here. Good speed shown so far from Lions Bulldog. And what does she have on the end of the mile? We'll see. She leads it by 2. Untold Story in second. Tox is in third, and then well back to Red Dog and Lindy Bovino. 16th of a mile to go here. Lions Bulldog looking to close it on out. Untold Story still in pursuit, a couple lengths back, and it's a good-looking debut for Lions Bulldog. Lions Bulldog to win this one. Second was Untold Story. Tox finishes third. Mile time, 1:54 flat, 27-1 on the end of it for Lions Bulldog. Almost set for our next qualifier. We move on to the fifth. We have 3 scratches out of this fifth qualifier. Scratch the 3, Pat's Queen, the 8, Stormont Green Boy, and the 9, Southern Cowboy. 1 driver change, 7, Mass Bar. It'll be Chris Matthews. Three-year-old trotters here in the fifth. Number 1, Green Hedge Mistress, a 3-year-old filly trained by Lyle MacArthur, who also drives. 2, Unsurpassable, a 3-year-old filly trained by Julie Walker. The driver is Bert Renault. 3 is Out. 4 is My Ghost, a 3-year-old filly. Trainer driver is Matt Bax. 5 is Jenny DeVee, a 3-year-old filly. Trained by Camille Christoforou. The driver is Chris Christoforou. 6, Twinbee Showbiz, a 3-year-old filly trained by Chantel Mitchell. Jonathan Drury drives. And number 7 is Mass Bar, a 3-year-old filly trained by Greg McNair. The driver will be Chris Matthews. Again, 3, 8, and 9 all scratched. Off stride and trailing the gate will be the 2, Unsurpassable. The others are lined up. Here they come for the fifth. And they're off and trotting. Pretty even beginning here. You can see the outside pair are trying to shoot on forward, as it's going to be Twinbee Showbiz and Mass Bar 1-2. From the center, Jenny DeVee gets away in third. Rail Starter, Green Hedge Mistress is there in fourth, as My Ghost will line in behind fifth, and well back to the breaker, but now trotting is Unsurpassable. Off stride up front went the 6, Twinbee Showbiz, jumps it off going into the first turn, so inheriting the lead will be Mass Bar, and inherits the front to a 29-3 opening panel. Mass Bar up top here, leading it by a couple of lengths. Jenny DeVee is in second, followed in third by Green Hedge Mistress. Next in line fourth is going to be My Ghost, back trotting, but spotting them another 15 lengths is Twinbee Showbiz, and the trailer is Unsurpassable. Moving up the backstretch, and it is the leader, Mass Bar, bar-hopping filly, by about a length and a half, while Jenny DeVee, the Green Manalishi filly, will get to tow right along there in second as they went by the half in a time of 59-4. 30-1 in the second quarter. And then we race into the far turn. It is still Mass Bar leading it from Jenny DeVee in second. Third is Green Hedge Mistress, followed fourth by My Ghost. Getting a bit closer now and coming back into the picture shortly will be Twinbee Showbiz, and the trailer is Unsurpassable. Coming to 3 quarters, so Mass Bar looked like she was going to get a 2-hole ride as they got into the first turn. Ends up having to control things and goes to 3 quarters in 129-2, 29-3 in the third panel, and they're into the stretch. Here is Mass Bar. In second has been Jenny DeVee, and then we're going back to Green Hedge Mistress third. My Ghost goes to the outside. Taking down to the rail will be Twinbee Showbiz. 1/8 of a mile to go, and squaring off now is Mass Bar and Jenny DeVee. Mass Bar inside, Jenny DeVee outside, starting to edge on by. Jenny DeVee will win qualifier number 5. Mass Bar will finish in second. Up the inside, Twinbee Showbiz. The first turn breaker was third. Then My Ghost, followed by Green Hedge Mistress in 157-2. Horses will line up now for our sixth qualifier. Older Pacers, a field of 8. Just one driver change. 7, Lord Anthony. Todd Ratchford is in the bike. 1, Gracie T, a 5-year-old mare, for trainer Lacey McCabe, the driver Trevor Henry. 2, Chocolate for Lunch, 6-year-old mare. Derek Anderson trains. Daryl Thiessen will drive. 3 is Charmbo Stormy, 8-year-old mare. Trainers Jared Mann, the driver Mark McDonald. 4, Vasem, 6-year-old gelding. Jacques Dupont trains. Jason Ryan drives. 5 is Cracker Barrel, a 7-year-old trained by Brenda Duncan. Dave Duncan drives. 6, Smiling Billy the Kid, 8-year-old gelding trained by Benoit Hubert. Louis Waugh on the bike. 7, Lord Anthony, 8-year-old gelding trained by Ben Hollingsworth. The driver Todd Ratchford. And number 8, it's Major Major. Mark McKinnon trains. James McDonald drives his 8-year-old gelding. Gate picks up speed. Here they come for the 6th. They're off and pacing. It's Major Major stepping forward and will cross over to the lead as Gracie T from the rail is currently in second. Center of the track, here comes Cracker Barrel moving on up, then to the inside to Charmbo Stormy. That one will be followed by Vasem. Lining up next is Lord Anthony in front of Chocolate for Lunch, and Smiling Billy the Kid rounds things out. It's Major Major off the wings to the lead and leads us 1 by 8 lengths to the opening quarter in 26 and 4. It's Major Major into the backstretch. So he'll do his own thing. Meanwhile, we go back to the 5-year-old mare Gracie T in second. Charmbo Stormy is then in third, and a bit of a gap developing going back to Cracker Barrel in fourth. That might force the hand of the others here shortly. It is Vasem, followed by Lord Anthony, then going back to Chocolate for Lunch, and rounding things out is Smiling the Kid. It's Major Major returning here this morning, leads it by close to double digits and is by the half in 56 seconds flat, so reining it in after the 26 and 4 opener to go 29 and 1. Gracie T is still in second, and Charmbo Stormy content to continue following that one in third, and then well back to the others as we did get some activity moving, as you've got Vasem, who is racing in fourth, being flanked by Chocolate for Lunch. Inside going to Lord Anthony, followed by Smiling Billy the Kid, and the trailer will be Cracker Barrel. It's Major Major down to 3/4 in 124 and 4, a 28 and 4 third panel, and into the stretch. It's Major Major. Has not been touched since the word go, and has about 6 lengths here on Gracie T in second to Charmbo Stormy in third. Vasem is currently in fourth, 16th of a mile to go, and it's Major Major was ready for the return today, and it's Major Major, a gate-to-wire winner. Good comeback here. It's Major Major wins it. Second goes to Gracie T. Then it was Charmbo Stormy in third. Vasem was fourth. 152 and 1 for It's Major Major. Final qualifier today will be the 7th as they are lining on up. 1, Banks a Million. Mike Whalen driving. 2, Tricky Trish. Jonathan Drury. 3, Lancelot. Todd Ratchford. 4, Mac the Knight. Mark McDonald. 5, 10 Karat Gold, J.R. Plant. 6, Stormont Cheerio, Ryan Guy. 7, What About Elmo, Paul Reed. And number 8, Stable Genius, Mark McKinnon. Off in trotting here in the finale on this Monday morning, and the outside speed comes from What About Elmo and Stable Genius. Off stride went the 2, Tricky Trish. Getting away nicely from the rail is going to be Banks a Million, and that one will be spotted in 3rd. Lining up 4th is 10 Karat Gold, going back to Stormont Cheerio, who will be tracked by Lancelot. Then taking back will be Mac the Knight. And off stride, resetting now, is Tricky Trish, who is last. Opening panel is going to pop up courtesy of What About Elmo in a time of 28 and 4. So What About Elmo? Paul Reed. This one fronts us into the backstretch. 2nd is going to be Stable Genius. 2 lengths back to Banks a Million in 3rd. 4th in line is 10 Karat Gold. Followed along then to Stormont Cheerio, going back to Lancelot. Then it's a gap of about 7 or 8 lengths back to Mac the Knight. And about double that to the trailer. But back trotting, Tricky Trish. Coming up to the half, and What About Elmo? Still with a loose lead at 3. It's What About Elmo by the half in 58 seconds even. 29 and 1 second quarter. What About Elmo onto the far bend? Stable Genius in 2nd. A few lengths then going back to Banks a Million in 3rd. Still there 4th is 10 Karat Gold. 2 lengths better than Stormont Cheerio, who's followed by Lancelot. And then we're going back to Mac the Knight, and Tricky Trish is about 8 lengths off that rival. Halfway around the far turn, and What About Elmo gets the separation out to about 5 lengths. Stable Genius in 2nd, and Banks a Million still 3rd. 3/4 hit in 1:26 and 1. A 28 and 1/3 quarter there as What About Elmo got away on them. It's What About Elmo getting things back on track here this morning. What About Elmo leading it by 8. Stable Genius in 2nd. Banks a Million trying to hold 3rd as 10 Karat Gold shakes loose now on the outside. Then we're going back to Stormont Cheerio. But as we come to the edge of the tote board, it's all What About Elmo to take our final qualifier today. What About Elmo? Pushed down to the line to win it by close to double digits. Stable Genius was 2nd. 3rd goes to 10 Karat Gold. Banks a Million 4th. 153 and 3. A good mile today from What About Elmo.